I think we are live. There we go. What's up, Buzz? What's up, Burbside? Retro Puffer, Dan of NJ, Electro Omega, Yeti Monty, Vimps, Ron Padgett, Terry 3G, Michael Cruz, Sky Prop, Shape and Coombs, Gary Davlin. We got Mike, we got Tony, we got Vince, we got Snowlancer, we got Andrew, we got Friedrich, we got Fretless Eddie, Double Alcata, I can't get that high. Sorry, Dan. Fred Priest, Calvin Bass, John Bates, Larry Austin, Rico B, and the Klaus Gaming, Rico Chef, Clinton Moscow, How do I write these? It's like every week I just write an instant hit. YouTube is suggesting I run an ad right now. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Creators earn more money inserting ads. The more viewers are watching, give it a try. Or close, which is what I clicked. My magnum opus. They just write themselves, right? And the Grammy goes to That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Thank you very much. Tip of the hat. Oh, thank you, Buzz. Much appreciated, buddy. You know, I might go to Dallas next year. We'll see. If I do, I'll let you know. Maybe we can meet up there, say hi, have a coffee. Saw a great show last night, Bush and Alice in Chains. Nice. You know, I haven't been out to a concert in a while. You know, well, I have, but as we all know, it didn't go well because of people. It's people. It's the people. You know, you're so much more tolerant when you're a kid. You get older, the curmudgeon comes out. Oh, that is a good coffee. You going to see Red Hot Chili Peppers tomorrow night? Yeah, the Chad Smith is the drummer on that new Ozzy album. Kind of put together a little set of stars, right? It's got bass player from Metallica. Right, Robert, is it Trujillo? And this guy like Andrew, I want to say it's Wanton, something like that. Hey, thank you, Gary. Much appreciated, buddy. For the clap, yeah, Clappo the Clown, never forget. No one will ever forget where they were when Clappo came to town. People are the worst. An open air limo in Dallas. The crazy things is the cycling bars, right? Everybody has to pedal the pedal bars. They're kind of a thing in, I think they're in Dallas, but they were certainly in Nashville. Low tolerance for BS when you get older. It kind of is. It kind of... Well, the thing is I was probably the douchebag when I was younger, so I couldn't be out douchebagged, right? You know, I'm the one who was ruining it for everyone else at times. So then you get older and you're like, oh, God, shut up. Let's hope Metallica's bass player playing with other people. You know what? I think that they were trying to put together a sort of super band for Ozzy. And Ozzy gets a lot of love out there and predates Metallica by many years. So, you know, you could go to the guys in Metallica and say, you know, if a Beatle came calling, if Elton came calling, all these guys came calling, all these like icons in the industry came calling, you'd be right on that. Why? Who wouldn't want to, jump on that? And so I don't think it was a problem because, you know, I think Ozzy's earned some cachet at this point, even though his health is failing. You know, I got to hand it to him, man. You got to check out the not his released video of the NFL kickoff halftime show, because that's all just, you know, slow-mo shots and, you know, slam cut after slam cut. It's it's heavily produced. The one you got to see is just as a guy in the stands with a cam, and he just sits there. You just watch the whole thing, and there you get a feel for like exactly what it looked like, you know, when you were there. And I tell you, man, I think they're playing. I think they are playing to a backing track, but, you know, they're clearly, a lot of people were like, you know, Zakk Wylde, you know, wasn't playing live. I don't think so. I think he was. I'm pretty good at, like, picking out, unless he's, you know, mimicking that backing track perfectly, but I don't think so. It seems to me like they were playing. Now, I do think they're playing to a backing track. You know, everybody's got an in-air going on, and... You know, as someone who has been, you know, I played in the 1,000-man jam. We're all wearing Bluetooth headsets, right? There's literally a click track, you know, and some guy with a thick Italian accent going, "Song started. Won't get fooled again. Guitar 1. You have to know what section you're in. Begin." So I think that's probably what was going on. And I do think Ozzy was singing a little bit, because you can kind of hear it, right? It's a little off. Some people were saying it was probably a track from the record, but it's just got all the shine off of it. But it's like a good take, right, from the recording. And they have sort of a rawish track that kind of sounds live. It's not perfect. And they sort of use that, and he's still lip-syncing. He's not singing. Well, it may have been the case. You know what? I don't give a shit. You know what? Ozzy's earned it. Oz, man, do whatever you want. You friggin' earned it. You've been married to Sharon for 40 years. Christ, give the man a medal. Thanks, Sassy Cat. Probably a raw take from Soundcheck. Could have been, right? Because they don't want to risk it. You know, and underneath that giant cloak, Ozzy's wearing apparently some sort of a harness and apparatus to keep him, like, from falling over, because he's had trouble standing. Right? So I don't know that he's able to tour, because... like Phil Collins, he'd have to be seated. If you notice when they show him, like, cutting some of his tracks for the record, he seated the entire time. So, he apparently he's having trouble standing. I don't think he could stand through a 90-minute or even worse, a 2-hour show. I don't think it's going to happen. But, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Give him a dove. Someone give that man a dove, for Christ's sakes. What's up, Strat CPO? That's how we treat our elderly. Up, we prop them up on a harness and go, sing, Gramps. Or we're gonna send out the taser again. What's up, David? Thank you, sassy cat. You're reminding me to drink a coffee. To drink me coffee. If he had pins in his neck, that's right, from that terrible ATV accident, which happened pretty late in his life. You're not the most flexible, once you're over 50, and I think he was over 50 when that accident happened. Maybe over 60. If you haven't seen Ozzy in concert, it's your fault. I only saw him once. In, I want to say it was 86. 86. I went and saw Ozzy. So that would have been, what, Ultimate Sin Tour? Probably. I think Jake was on stage. It was Jake E. Lee. Still drinking Kirkland. This is the Kirkland. I'll tell you, we're sort of locked in. It's a good coffee, and it is cheap. Maybe the harness at Vi-War. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, Sharon is Ozzy's puppet master. Oh, thank you, VTech. Very, very much appreciated. Just waiting here for the buddy to grace us. You might see the Bud Band. First of all, the window's open. I have it propped up with a tripod pushing against the back of the fan to cover the tear on the right side of the screen. Because Shawshank made a run for it today. I had a grand old time out front of the house until my wife went out and got her back in. She's quite wily. So we're taking extra precautions. I do have the window open though, because it is freaking gorgeous and it's going to get hot again. And speaking of that, my freaking AC died this week, my central air. More on that later. We'll talk about it. My HVAC people, stick around. We're going to have to talk about fan extraction. What's up, speaker? Good to see you, buddy. Gotta hit the right notes. Well, what's crazy is she came up to the window and the other cats were in the window and they were like, "Ah!" It's like, it's me, you dumbasses. They're like, cat in the window. Yeah, it's freaking Shawshank. I know. It's going to be money. And you know what? It was muggy and hot for a few days. I do have a window air conditioner, but it's, not adequate to cool the whole house down. And we were hot. We were like almost 90. It's going to be almost 90 tomorrow. Just for like a day, though, and it cools back down. So now is the time where we really start to shift to cooler air. It's been cool the last 3 days, just like freaking gorgeous. And even though it was like super cool, like down in the 40s, at night, it was good to just let everything cool off, so when it does get warm, it takes that much more energy to sort of warm everything back up again. The house had gotten really hot. It was hard to cool it down. Just dropped it close to 11K for a new AC and air handler. Yeah. No. It's the fan. And it's not that the fan won't run. It's literally the fan. I'll show you in a second. We can talk about it. We're on the subject. Let's just get to it. Then we'll get to that Aussie thing, and when I'm done with this, I'll go over the whole Aussie thing. So, there's your problem right there, kid. Right. I've taken the screws out and I've turned the fan over. Right. First of all, he used a friggin' OEM, not an OEM, a non-OEM. He used a third-party fan when he replaced this motor 3 years ago. And so that's a lot of drive shaft. That's a lot of friggin' spindle to get down. There's the only way to even think about getting this even remotely cleared up is to put a sander on it and sand that down and almost polish it up and then cut it. And then put a wheel puller on it and pull this off, right? And then bring this. It's like a 20-inch. It's straight up. Yeah. Straight up. I was in bed and I hear boom, 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 because it's detached and it's flopping around in there, banging at the top. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is that? I ran and turned the air conditioner off. I was like, well, I think the compressor finally went. I said, I think that's the compressor. It can't compress, right? The piston in the compressor can't fire. You know, there's something going on, and it's like just dead. And but no, it was the fan. See this? This is from the numbskull that replaced it last time. All right, you see this damage right here? Yeah, it's all rusty. That's because this is from the guy from the last time. He had the old fan, and he's trying to get this off. The old fan ended like right here, like right about here. All right, and we needed I'm getting a new motor. The last time the motor died, but it died. But he doesn't. He wants to keep the fan blade. These are about $100. One of these fans, just the part itself is about $110. So I think these are either stainless steel or aluminum. Anyway, he gets out there. He's got a small sledgehammer, and he's trying to bang this out of it. And I'm going, dude, you're just mushrooming the end out. You need a wheel puller. You're never ever getting that off. I got it. Oh no, I got it. He spent I friggin' swear 40 minutes. That's probably why this broke, because of him smashing it with the friggin' sledgehammer. I'm like, dude, this is painful to watch. You've got the end all mushroomed out. It's like, you're going to have to sawzall the end of this thing off and get a wheel puller on. That's the only way this thing is coming off now. Right? All of a sudden, his boss shows up. He goes and gets a sawzall. He goes and gets a wheel puller, and they got it off. But the damage was done, and I swear to God, he probably broke this, did a little damage to that at the same time, dumbass. I never forget, you bastard. Anyway, I can get one of these down at the Fan District at Central Fan for about $100 if I want to drive all the way over to friggin', I think it's Medford, over to Meffa. I can go get one, or the guy, he just gave me a price. He can put it in for $400. New fan. Take the old one out, put the new one in. So what do? Do you try and get this up? What would you do? Would you try and sand this down, put a wheel puller on this and get this off, drive about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, get a fan and put the fan back on yourself? Fan's going to run about $100, maybe $110. Or do you spend $400 and the guy just brings the fan and it's a part of the the cost of it. It's very late season though. So part of me is like, do I really want to spend money on this right now? But God, I hate humidity. God, I hate it. It's all ball bearings. Systems from 2008. Blackjack says just pay the 400. Time is money, do the 400. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You know what? You know what's going to happen? I'm going to start doing it. First of all, remember, it's on a spinning motor. You got to get a Sawzall on a motor that spins, right, to cut that off and take that off. Which means you got to get some sort of like a vice grip on it to hold it, to pin it down, so that when you put the Sawzall on it, the thing isn't just rolling, right? I mean, it's a motor, right? So... so you got that, just trying to get it off. You got to sand the whole thing. I'd probably have to put I'd put like what do I have it, what do they call that? An orbital sander. And I'd just probably orbital sand it with like 3 different grits to get it nice and clean. Saw it, clean up the end, and then put a wheel puller on it. That was my plan. Metal Maine says pay the 400. I was thinking the 400. Legit designer Chris for 2 hours. Oh my God, dude, that's a good point. It's so unrepeatable. I spent $600 to get my fix. As the first guy was a clue. No, so my guy who installed it, he's an old dude. He's retired. He's like, this is the guy who's taking over. He's like, I'm sending all my accounts over to him. So I trust that it'll be pretty good. You know, usually pretty good. I tried to go to my other local guy. He's like, yeah, we're not accepting new accounts at this time. He's like, we're so booked we can barely keep up with the work we have. I'm like, well, that sucks. So why do you have a website? Why don't you plaster up in your website, no new accounts? Like, Jesus. Well, thank you, Vimps. New fan. Much appreciated. You know, it's when all of a sudden you got to spend $400. You're like, damn it. Right, so I think he's thinking it's $100 for the fan and probably 2 hours worth of work at $1.50 an hour, because that's what the other guy was. My old guy, he was $1.50 an hour. That's what I'm figuring it is. Right, it's $1.50 an hour times 2. That's $300. And another $1.20 for the fan. Right, because I think he was quoting me $4.20. Do what I can myself. You see, the thing is when you start a job, people don't want to finish it. They're like, oh, dude, I wouldn't have done that, you know? Oh, yeah, you like the PF through the dual rig patch? I just saw that go by. Chat's going a little faster on my end here. It's weird. It like goes. It doesn't go at all, and then all of a sudden it like takes off. Do it by hand with a diamond file. Look at you. I'll be out there like polishing it. It'll be like a mirror finish. Okay, now I'll pull it off. Yeah, we're going to get hot like tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be like almost 90, but just for one. So it used to be that it's cold, you get a couple of hot days, so then it's like all hot days, and you might get one cool day and refreshing day, and then you get 0 cool and refreshing days, and it gets ungodly hot. Then you get like 1 refreshing day, and now we're in the point where we're getting like mostly refreshing days, and now we're going to start to get the occasional hot and crazy day. But this house, he just sits we face the southwest. We just sit there and cook in the sun all day. Yeah, I'll be out there micro meshing it, up to like a mirror finish. And then Sawzall it off. Oh, the 400 would come with a warranty, and then if it like didn't work, I'd be like, well, I don't know, you're the one who put the friggin' fan on it. Figure it out, brah. What am I paying you for? But I gotta say that to myself if I do it. And my customer service isn't very good. I know the thing is like we're just on the cusp where we don't need it, and we could probably get by with just dehumidifiers, right? Because it'll be moist, but it'll be cool. But I know me. I like then the spring will come. They'll be busy. Oh, we can't come out. It'll be hot. I'll be all pissy. It's like just get it done now. You know. Exactly. It's my Stumac polishing cloths. My fret erasers. Exactly. Right now, it's a heavy relic. It's a heavy relic fan. Look at that. That's a rich patina. Hey, well, we're talking about it. Let me. I gotta switch guitars. You know, because we're coming up at 7:30. I like to do the. You know, the. Is it the main topic? I guess it is. Hold on. We're back. All right. So let's just talk about the beginning there of, well, just the whole tune of the Patient number 9. So I got to say, I really like that song. That song has really grown on me. And I'm really actually digging the whole album. I've had it on kind of a loop this past week, past couple of weeks, actually. Well, no, because I think it came out, when it came out? It came out the 9th or the 8th. So, but this past week, I've had it going pretty heavy. And I see a lot of people out there, how to play Patient number 9. And they're all wrong. every last one of them. So they get the right notes, but they make a fundamental misstep that forces them to make choices that aren't what's on the album. So the thing about that tune is that you've got to tune the guitar down a whole step. You know how you tune down a half step to like E flat to be like Van Halen? On this tune, you tune down a whole step all the way across the board. It's not a drop D, but it's like D. Let me just think about this. It would be D, G. I guess that would be C, F, A, D. Right. So yeah, D. That'd be G. That'd be C. That would be. Let me think about this. That would be F. That'd be A. And that'd be D. Right? Just everything down a whole step. That's literally all it is. So, once you do that, what sounds like a very difficult passage becomes incredibly easy. And when I first heard it, I said, oh, this has got open strings. I said, so, but nobody was playing an open string. And the notes they were playing were correct. I said, this is an alternate tuning. There's no way that this is correct. And what it took was two things. One, look at that live footage by that guy in the friggin' stands, because they are playing it. They are absolutely playing the notes of that song, note for note, without a doubt. And you can see where they're playing, and you realize they're in a D standard tuning. And then the other thing is that they just, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Ozzy posted a documentary about how he put together this like group with Chad Smith and Robert, is it Trujillo, from Metallica, and Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they have this sort of group, and I think it's the guitar player who's like maybe the band leader and sort of putting it all together, or maybe the producer. And anyway, they bring in all these people to do the guitar solos, and for the most part, it's this sort of like younger group, although Chad Smith isn't exactly a young guy anymore, neither is Robert Trujillo, but you get it. You get the idea. Anyway, Trujillo goes on there, and he's like playing this 8-string bass, and I'm like, what in the what? And he goes, they asked me to come in. He goes, well, I got this little idea. And I was like, oh God, there it is. No one is doing that on the here's how you play it. And there it is. And that's literally, right. That's the chord he's playing right there. So I'm between watching him play it and watching the live stuff, I sort of put together how it goes together. And it is, it'd be easy to go to this cam. Maybe like that. So, it's, first, remember, we're tuned down a whole step. It's 9, open, 7. That's on the A string. Capo/capo rules are in place. In other words, this is, even though it's, it's tuned to G, I'm calling that a friggin' A string, because my brain can't process, okay? We're sticking with the normal names of the strings, because but it's, so it's 9, open, 7, 6, open, and then he does this little, which is just 7, 9 on the G string. And then he goes open A string, 7th fret on the D string, and 5th fret, basically an A minor, but it sounds like a G minor. And then he has this lovely tritone. That's the 6th fret on the A string. And then, let's see if I can get this in the camera. You can see that there. And I was like, dude, that's pretty damn good. And then, that's the tricky one. And he does the slide, because I'm hearing this, right, on the record, and I'm watching everybody play it, and I'm going, there's no way that's friggin' right. But then, of course, I see him do that, and I go, oh, there it is. There it is. Right, and then at the very end, he goes like, right, goes in the opposite direction, and then goes, go to the heavy sound. Right? It'd be easy to see that on this cam. That's just like... But, you know, when I see people play it, they play it here because they can't get the whole line down on that string. But it is played here because you're tuned down a whole step. You can also do it. There's like 3 different ways you can play it. And then they go like a... that will at the very end. And here's what no one else does, but this is the correct way to do it. It's an A, really sounds like a G. To E, to F sharp, to F. Chorus. Right? So it's like C, G, and then A. And the first riff is biddle-a-boop. And then the second one is ba-da-da, ba-da-da. And then at the very end he goes, and then the transition chord. And the whole thing pretty much starts all over again. That's like pretty much the whole friggin' tune. And then of course, you know, there is an odd section where they go, you hear Jeff back, you know, in there going, you know, where all of a sudden they go to like B flat, but I don't even know that they did that live. I feel like they skipped right over that or didn't quite get there, right? They did the 2 choruses and the 2 verses, and they did a verse, chorus, and then sort of ended it and came out and did Crazy Train. If you listen to that live Crazy Train, it's a whole step down. So they stuck with the not drop D, standard D tuning. So yeah, it's, you know, there's a few little things in it, but the main thing is that you gotta be in that D tune down a full step, or you're never gonna get in that tone. That's a great riff. the last note there is G. I think it's better there. I think it's probably the easiest. Oh, man. Such a great tune, though. Way up there. Zakk Wylde version. Anyway, I've been digging that tune, and there's the secret. Two things: one, you got to drop down, and two. It's not a 12-string. It's an 8-string bass that's opening that up, tuned to the way the guitar is tuned. So you can do it on guitar. In fact, if you watch when they do the live show, basically that guy, what's his name? I think it's Andrew, right? Is it Watman? Wotman? Andrew Wotman? Who's probably the band leader. That dude is playing that opening part with the bass player. And that's written by Trujillo. And they all get a writing credit, too. That's what's very interesting. You start to go through, it's the most anti-Sharon thing you ever saw. Like, they all got writing credits. It's like, what? It's not Andrew Watt. I think it's W-O-T-M-A-N or M-O-N. I think W-O-T-M-A-N, Wattman. He's a really good player. It's the dude playing the SG. He dyed his hair like blonde or bleached it for the gig, but his hair was just like dark, like the weeks prior, because they show the recording, and obviously they shot some of it towards the end, right before they did that live thing for the NFL, and some prior. His hair is like obviously his normal color. I know. Well, I think it just confirms Sharon has been replaced by an alien cyborg. It's the only thing that explains it. The evidence is right in front of our face. Anyway, a couple of other things I wanted to point out. As you know, I like to talk about the deal of the week. Should we do the deal of the week? The deal of the week. 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 There you go. These are the ones we missed out on. I thought that was a pretty good deal. It's an SG3 Maestro. You know, with the triple pickup. You know, if you can handle it, if you can handle a three-way, it's good. You know, it's pretty good, and I thought that was a pretty damn good price. You know, it's down in Les Paul studio country, so I think that's pretty good. And then the other one that sort of came up this week, again, got away, didn't buy it, don't have it, don't expect it. I'm not suddenly going to whip this out, but I thought that was a pretty good one too. Just because it's an odd color, it's the it's the Pelham blue, and again, it's sort of down in That's a Les Paul studio, right? A couple of, Les Paul tributes, right? Studio tributes and stuff. It's down at a pretty good price point and the reason why I think it's good, and I think the reason why they're both good, I don't think either one came with a case. They're really like separating cases lately. So this seems to be a strategy by them. But anyway, I just sort of like that one. And I think this has the smaller gears. I'm not sure. I don't know, but I'd have to take a look. But anyway, I thought that was a good deal. I like to find the deals if I can, and show you what we didn't buy, because that benefits no one. Oh, and then the last thing, two more things actually. After my fan died, you're all bummed out. And you're like, why, God, why? But then you go to Costco, and you're like, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. Oh, it's 80 degrees out. Right? I was like, damn right. Why aren't we just doing this 365, huh? For Christ's sakes. I mean, no, seriously, for Christ's sake. So, anyway, that was my week of weeks. Oh, and one more thing. I'm just gonna Tim Cook this. Oh, and one more thing. As you know, we have a thoroughfare that the cars only sign has been whacked by trucks so more that the sign that says cars only has been severely degraded. And we had the Sturrow Drive. This is actually Memorial Drive, which is on the other side of the river, but it's the same thing. The more common one. This is on the Cambridge side. The other one's on the Boston side. This is the Cambridge side. That's Memorial Drive. And it's because it's got the low bridge. Got the low bridge there, kid. And they had an old-fashioned Sturrowing. It ripped it open like a can of tuna. Luckily, hopefully there was nobody on that footbridge at the time. That would be quite jarring, literally. But, I'm sure what they did was as they usually do, they deflate, because it gets stuck, they deflate the tires, and they pull it out ass first, because obviously they can't go forward. And they have to have the state police close everything off, and get some big rig in there to pull this ass out of there. And there it is, because this can't go under that. I mean, you can't even be. What truck driver looks at this and says, "You know what? I think I got this." Was it FedEx? Did you see that? I don't think it's FedEx. I don't see. Do you see FedEx? Hold on. That looks like just a standard semi. And I'm not seeing like boxes in there. That looks like rugs or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like wrapped appliances. I don't see a FedEx. That's an ambulance. Right, fire department, fire truck, right? Call fire, something like that. Or I know Cambridge Fire, and then the number of the car. So if there's a chopper over, you can go car number 3. Where are you? Oh, he's joking. Big Piata signature Les Paul DC getting mixed reviews. Well, you know what? No guitar is going to please everybody. You know. That's the great thing about purchases. They're voluntary for the most part. Otherwise, it's a tax. I do have an SM1, but I don't have it nearby, actually. That's in another room. But I do. I do have an SM1. It's a DC with a slide. I didn't even think they changed the body. I thought it was just a paint scheme. You know, just think, yeah, I like this color. A slightly thinner body, at least there's some change. I love this drop. It's not drop D. I can't call it drop D. Zach Wild version. It gets around 2,000, yeah. 2,000. It's not custom shop though, is it? I don't think so. It's standard production, right? Yeah, it's all pinch harmonics these days. I love that riff. What did I do? Do. Just catching up here. Makes the SG sound like an LP. Yeah, just detune it. Is that the secret? Is that the secret to heavy guitar? Just tune it down a little bit. It's got 10s on it, so they're a little slinky. Oh man, it's good. And it's damn good. My best, oh, Angus. I was like, what the hell are you asking me? Oh, Angus. Angus, gotcha, all right. It's so low. Hey, speaking of Harley Benton Fusions, this is just for my American dudes. The dollar is very strong against the euro right now. If you're thinking about getting a, like a high-end guitar pick from Switzerland, or or a Harley Benton, or any one of those European shipped products, it's a pretty good time to do it right now. So literally earlier this year, it would cost about $1.30 to buy a euro, and then it fell to about $1.15, and now it's about $1. So it's about a 1-to-1 ratio, and that drops like the Harley Bentons pretty far down. Pretty far down in the in the pricing, because they convert it to US if you ask it to. And so what was like 480, 490 is down to like 405, 410. It's like literally dropped. And I think the shipping might have started to drop too, because they buy their shipping in euros and they charge you in dollars. Dig? So I don't know what that will translate. Maybe that won't translate, but certainly the prices listed that I've been looking at are lower than what they were like 8 months ago, 10 months ago, without a doubt. And same with the picks. If you were going to buy the picks, it's all added up in euros. And so the first time I added it up in euros, by the time it changed to like dollars, it went from 100 euros to it was like 110 euros went to like $135. So that would now be $110. Wow. A little bit of because you got to remember that inflation is global, not just the U.S., as much as we like to bitch about it being that way, but it isn't. It's literally worldwide. And our dollar is actually pretty strong right now. It sucks for exports. If you're in the exporting business, it sucks because everything's very expensive to buy from the United States right now. But if you're buying from outside, it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good right now. I know I should just make the condenser fan out of the picks. So we voted to just pay for it, right? And not have me stand out there and try and fix that stupid thing, right? Just so you know, I did pull the breaker before there's an outside, all these units have an outside 230 volt breaker that you just pull out before you work on it. Of course I pulled the breaker before I worked on it. You can't work on that, so you wind up getting yourself electrocuted. Yeah, pay for it. Yeah, Ben. Good to see you, Guitar Man. Get how friggin'. Oh my God, good. Thanks for reminding me. So Ben Coombs is reminding me about my Bob Bradshaw wearing a dress story, which I've probably told before, but you're about to hear it again. So I go to see Toto. And hold on, I forget. Stuck here, and that is stuck, and there we go. All right. So I go to see Toto in, I guess that would be summer of 1990. Was it 91? I think it was 1990. Summer of 1990. And they're playing Club Casino up on Hampton Beach. And, you know, we get up there early. We get in. And it's one of those, it's a ballroom. And they have a lot of tables. And, you know, they pretty much seat us all at a table. We have I think it's 6 of us, right? Maybe 5 of us. And we get in there and we're waiting, and all of a sudden, gotta remember the ballroom has these 2 big entrances, the front entrance, but there's also this big rear entrance. And all of a sudden I hear a big commotion at the rear, and it's right there. And the whole band comes walking in through the big back door, this all these doors. And of course, Lukather makes a beeline, straight for the dressing room. But everybody else sort of hangs out, you know. Jeff Porcaro, David Paich, and I think maybe Steve Porcaro. And there's this guy, wearing a dress. You know, kind of like a, I'm trying to remember what it looked like. I want to say it was sort of like a white top with a dungaree skirt that was long, below the knee. This weird sort of dress. And I'm like, that's Bob Bradshaw. So, at one point, cut to I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes later. YouTube wants me to run an ad right now because we just crossed over the top of the hour. He's wearing a dress. So at one point, I see just a couple of tables from us, and it's sort of empty, right? Not every table is full. At a couple of tables from us, there's a couple of people, and they're stopped, and they sort of grab Jeff Porcaro and David Paich and maybe one other dude, and they're kind of at a table, and Jeff Porcaro's signing an autograph. I said, "Oh, dude, I'm going to get an autograph." And a friend of mine who's a drummer and loves Jeff Porcaro, he's like, "You son of a bitch, I'm doing it too." And he jumps up, comes with me, and we go over there. And Porcaro, it's Jeff Porcaro, who, as you know, passed away years ago of a heart attack. An amazing drummer, and he's in a conversation, he sort of turns to us, hey guys, how you doing? Blah blah blah. And I hand him they have a little notepad that they had from the help desk, and they're just sort of signing an autograph. So I had to make an autograph to my friend Paul. So I just make it out to Paul. He goes, "All right, nice to meet you, Paul." Nice to meet you, Jeff. And he's writing one out for my friend Vinny, and Vinny goes, "What's with the dude with the dress?" And I turn to him I'm waiting to hear Jeff go, "That's my wife." Right? I'm like, dude, be careful, man. You are and he goes, "Oh," he's like, "great story." He goes, Lukather offered him $200 to wear the dress, and he said no. So I added a $200. He said no. And when it hit about $1,000, he says, "Yeah, I'll wear the dress." He said he's pulling in about $1,000 tonight to wear that dress. And he's like, "Which is a pretty good night's pay." I said, "Yeah." Yeah, that's a pretty good. Yeah, not bad. He goes, he's cleaning up. So that's why Bob Bradshaw was wearing a dress. They paid him. He won a bet, right? I bet you $1,000 you won't wear a dress. I'll wear the dress. And he did. And if you think about it, $1,000 in 1990 is a good chunk of cash, right? Yeah, that's 30 years ago. That's a nice payday for a single night. Oh, rock stars. Lucas is like, I blow through that in a minute. That's why he was running to the back room. He was fueling up for the night. Sadly, the dress did cost him $1,000 because he said, "Damn it, if I'm only wearing Chanel." He stood by the decision. Over $2,300 in today's money, yeah. That's a lot of tacos. So the sort of the Eddie, you see that this week? Did you hear about this? Did you see this? Did you hear about this? And it really didn't, but you know, people bloggers got a blog. The sort of Randy Eddie thing sort of came up again. No. You know, it's like, I don't know, I don't really remember it being much of a contest, right? They very different players stylistically. But I think Ozzy's out defending Randy quite a bit lately. Randy's come up quite a bit. I think Ozzy might be feeling a little guilt. So I think it's basically Ozzy made some comment that like Randy didn't think Eddie like respected him, and I'm like, you know, Eddie probably didn't respect a lot of people. It's right. It's hard to work in groups when you're omnipotent. You know how that goes, right? So anyway, I thought it was a nothing burger. Sort of just brought up for the purposes of, but it did make the round. I did see it out there a little bit this week because the Aussie made a comment, and of course, if someone says anything, there's like 100,000 tweets. What did you see? Modest Mouse is going to put up a bunch of vintage gear on Reverb September 21st. So clear them credit cards because this is probably not going to be cheap stuff. It's all like old vintage Fenders and like big giant Bassmans and all kinds of crazy, like old amps and all kinds of stuff. So it should be interesting to see what they put up. They say it's going to be like a chunk of stuff, chunk of gear, including a very elaborate pedal board. They're calling it like the most elaborate pedal board, but that's a bold claim. What else? I think that's it. That's about it. Oh, I built the new PC. Finally got it going. It was that motherboard because I put a new motherboard, different brand in. They took out the MSI, which I had used MSI in the past for a bunch of builds. Never had a problem, but this one couldn't see the M.2 card. Every time it booted to the M.2, it would say there was no drives in it, and it would just boot to the BIOS. And then you would just say, like, save and exit and say, save making no changes, and you say, yeah, and then it booted normally. But every time you booted the system, it would boot to the BIOS first and say that you have no drives. And then it would see the drives and it would boot normally. That's very annoying. And it didn't do that when I first got it. It's a condition it seemed to have developed at one point. And so I was like, enough of this. And I dumped it, returned it to Amazon for a full refund, actually. They're pretty good. And got a gigabyte, like Aorus Elite, gaming cracker version, Max Plus. And that it boots and runs just fine. It's been working really, really good. So the final build is an AMD 5900X with a RTX 3080, not the 3080 Ti, just 3080, and 64 gigs of RAM, and 3 terabytes of M.2 NVMe spread over 3 different chips. And the 2 fastest ones run at 4x4, so they're running 7 gigabytes per second, which admittedly that's pretty fast. When you paste a gigabyte of files and you think you accidentally pasted, shortcuts, you're like, oh my God, okay, all right, that's pretty damn fast. So it's finally running. I switched from air to liquid cooling. So I had to pull all that out, and there's an order. Video card's got to come out first. Liquid cooling comes out next. The rest of the peripherals come out. And then finally get the motherboard out. Get what you can on the motherboard and put everything back in. Yeah, big pain in the ass. But I got it. It's all done, finally. And it's working good. And it boots in like a nanosecond. It's like, oop, on. I love it. That's the board you got, I think mine's the A570S, because it came out in like 2021 or 2020, I think 2021. So I think it's a newer, I don't know if the S makes a difference, but I have a Rev 1 too, Rev 1.0, and they make a Rev 1.1. I think that's what I have. I have the X570S Elite Master, and it's so I should get, I'm hoping to get quite a few years out of the thing. This system is from 2012, and that one over there is from 2016. So I use them as long as they run. Now they have all been upgraded to max RAM, 16 gigs of RAM. They've all been upgraded to SSDs. So, they run, it's as fast as they're going to get, but, they're starting to show their age a little bit. S is for snazzy. Nice. I love the new snazzy. That is the passive cooled version. Okay, newer, better board. With what you said you got, it should be smoking for 4 to 5 years. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a good 4 or 5 years out of it. Then I'll start to feel a little slow and a little old. But you try to get a good 4 or 5 years. I think 64 gigs of RAM should hold me for a while. These only have 16 gigs of RAM, but they seem to work just fine. I think 8 gigs right now is Like 16 is sort of my bare minimum at this point, and most of my new builds have gotten 32. This one, in fact, this one was 32. I just added the extra RAM. When I bought the RAM, it was $139, $135 for 32 gigs, two 16 gig sticks. And then it fell down to about 114. I was like, you know what? Just buy the other two sticks. It's like the price of RAM had really fallen. So I put the system together in March of 2019, and I guess it was around the fall, around Christmas time, 2019. And I was like, just get it. And I said, nah. Then the pandemic hit March of 2020, and that RAM went up to like 140, 170, 210, like 240. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And because supply chain, right? Supply and demand. People are home, they want to upgrade their systems, and eventually you run out of stock and you can't get more, so prices just shoot through the roof. And then it like fell through the floor. Back down to 170, back down to 150, 130, 120. When I finally got the RAM just a couple of weeks ago, for the upgrade, it was 104. So we're getting there. Computer parts and weed. Those are your inflation busters right there. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see a computer sold with 8 gigs now, Yeah, it's 0 gigs, nice. They're very little over 32 gig for yeah, except for videos. When you're editing videos, and if you have to open up, especially if you want to open up like Adobe Audition or After Effects, that'll do it. Then you start to really rip into the RAM. The US is going crypto, yeah, well, maybe my crypto can go from, it can only go up, right? I guess not. I guess it could always go down to 0. But right now it's at what, probably 25 to 28% of where it was a year ago. Yeah, 4K will push. It does. 4K is, you don't realize just how much of a push it is over at 1080p. What's up, Monty? Any tips for growing a new YouTube channel? Just keep putting out content. Nothing will kill your channel faster than, even the live shows aren't, YouTube doesn't treat them the same. My subscribers and my views absolutely crash Because YouTube really punishes old content. They all want new, keep putting out new, keep putting out new. And that's the only way. That's the only way. In fact, some big YouTubers have really gotten into it, guys who had like really big numbers. And they're like, my numbers dropped off to like ridiculous numbers. And like that, they're so big, like, 4 or 5 million subscribers. And they figured out when they put a new video out, it shot up because YouTube was rewarding only recent content. And it quickly dropped off. So you got to put content out. That's what they really want. Doesn't hurt to put like a pretty good looking butt or a rack, nice set of boobies out there. That pretty much does it. That's where most of your views are going to go, right? It's going to be like some chick holding an axe in front of a pile of wood she's like an ass model, right? With like some painted on pants. She's going to be like, doing yard work today. There's your YouTuber of today. Yeah, keep a consistent schedule too. Good point, Ben. You always want a chick in a bikini in the thumbnail. No one gamed them more than that. Philip DeFranco, oh my God. He always had the craziest clickbait title and stuff. And it was just like, and you'd click on it and you go, oh, it's this dude, because you didn't have previews back then. What the hell is this? And you click on it and you go, oh, it's this dude again. Oh, he got me, man. There's another dude who like totally clickbaits famous guitar players, right? So he has a thumbnail, which it looks like, Jimmy Page with some big boobed, 20-year-old chick, and it's totally photoshopped. And it's a completely worthless video with nothing but from start to finish stolen content and like the worst voiceover. Some guy basically says like, back in the 70s, Jimmy Page was considered one of the best guitar players. It's like, go on. Oh, who is this Mr. Page you're talking about? It's like, oh my God. But you know what? He got a ton of views from that friggin' thumbnail. And I'm sure he's raking in the cash from it. Yeah, Marty Schwartz puts out a video a day. The dudes who put out a video a day usually build a really big audience, but that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work, a video a day. I know it doesn't sound like much, but you'd be better off to try and record 7 on Sunday and just, then put them out for the week. Then 7 on Saturday and just put them out Sunday through Saturday and do them all again. Because it's hard. It's hard to find the time every single day to go shoot a video, edit the video, get the video up. It's a freaking process. And now I can at least do it because I have the video editing machine going again. Yeah, the robot voice videos. Someday, Jeff Beck is one of the greatest guitar players. We love to listen to his wonderful guitar playing. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, that chick is never in that video. It's just total 100% clickbait. YouTube was cracking down on that for a while. Gaming the thumbnails was like a cause for getting a strike on your channel. But I feel like there's too many channels now. I'll click your damn link. Just show the girl. And she isn't real. In fact, he stole that chick from some other, you know what I'm saying? Just scouring the internet, finding it all. It's all for the only thing that the only good thing that dude does is make the thumbnail, right? He gets it so it looks like that they're like locked arm in arm, right? But it's totally not. Yeah, I can imagine the storage they have to add because I did I'm just trying to think of the year that was. That might have been 2014, 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. I'd have to look again. And I did like a 2-week course with YouTube, or like a live thing where they got about 9 YouTubers and they could have 10 people at a time. And the instructor, and she just basically went over and gave us like tips for like coming up with a good thumbnail, coming up with a good title, you know, when to put a video out, you know, all these things. And it was really good. It was very helpful. And but she was like, at this point, we're bringing in, she's like, about 2 days worth of content every minute. That was in like 2013, 2014. Can you imagine what they're doing now every minute? You know, it's probably like 8-10 days worth of content every minute. Riley Gibson offended now? I don't really prefer one brand over another. I still like the Hydrosynth. I do. I love the Hydrosynth. Sounds great. It's a great little unit. I have the Mini, which some people might not like the little keys, but of the little keys, it's probably like the best, feel for Mini keys. They're just pretty professional and sturdy. The whole thing is like metal and heavy duty. And I would only get the Explorer or the Deluxe, because the older one, unless you got it used, is like missing. There's some routing that isn't quite the same that they added, in just physical limitations. They can't add it to the older units. So I have the Explorer, $600. You get the engine, you can always control it with another unit, and you're getting polyphonic aftertouch on the Mini keyboard, and a lot of the software synths respond to it. I'm just saying, it's pretty good. Yeah, I could do another synth show. See, the problem is I moved all the synths over there in that other room, so I don't really have any out here. But I could get it going. I could figure it out. I'm sure. Oh, thanks, Monty. Very much appreciated. We're going to go back to the... This is such a low tuning. Hold on, I'm going to switch back to the Bula. There we go. So let's turn towards me. Gotta plug this in. Hold on. There we go. I do like this guitar, man. It is a good one. Oh, we'll go like that. There we go. That's a little better. They got some new ones that look pretty good too. I want to say like a tobacco burst or something like that, you know? Synthesizer, yeah, I have a few synths. The Hydrosynth, the Modi X. I don't have the Wave State anymore. I got rid of it because I have the software one. And I just didn't need both. I was going to keep it because they said it was going to work with the software and, like, you know, be able to control it perfectly. But I couldn't get it to work. And when I couldn't get it to work, I was like, well, then it's easier just to assign the knobs to, like, the Novation, you know. Oh yeah, Jared, you got a Rolly Seaboard? Those are cool, man. Again, that has that whole MPE, right? MIDI performance extensions or whatever it's called, expansions. It's got a lot more data, running through it. Creativity playing. What you go to guitar? Well, it depends on the mood. You know, if I want to do some more blues or something like that, I'll usually get a single coil guitar. If I'm thinking of doing something more, you know, metal or, you know, rock, I'll get, you know, like really metal, I'll go for like the Kramer or, you know, something that's like what I'm doing, right? Try to get a guitar that sort of fits what I'm trying to work on. Probably more inspiring that way. If you're gonna play a metal guitar, if you wanna write a metal tune. Steve, you're losing weight, Doc, but you're gonna die. You know, I usually lose weight in the summer because I do more yard work. No, we'll see how it goes in the winter. You gotta catch the train at the Nashville Hobo Style. Meet up with RJ. Want to come with you? No. Did I watch the entire Taylor Hawkins tribute? No, I only saw the Wolfie tunes, and they were quickly ripped off YouTube. A lot of that, you know, stuff is pulled down because Paramount Plus is apparently going after it. So. Shoveling snow is good exercise? Yeah, not really. It's too much. It's too concentrated at once. You know, the yard work is way more spread out. What I don't like is my watch is always like, you know, patronizing me, going like, you know, hooray, you've been working out for 20 minutes. I'm like, shut up. Like, enough. I'm just trying to get some work done in the yard. And they're all going, keep it going. And I'm like, shut up. And sometimes, you know, if I have a big project going on, my watch is telling me, all right, you know, it's time to end your workout. And I'm like, well, you know, we're only like halfway through this, so no. Not going through it, you know. Actually, even working the snowblower can be quite a workout. Google says 100 people die every year. Yeah, I think one of my high school teachers died mowing the lawn, had a heart attack. How's Buddy doing? Buddy's doing good. I'm surprised we haven't seen more cats down here. But Shawshank made it out today, but we got her back. Moved around 1,500 pounds of rock. That's a lot. Last 4 days. Damn. Any guitar reviews coming up? I don't think so. Is that the knob a little loose, or is that where? What do I have here? Is that a flathead, or is that a? That is a flathead. Oop! Of course I dropped it. Son of a bitch! My Christ! Why, God? Why? Oh, yeah. There it is. There it is. All set. Did Bobby get a new Charvel? I don't think so. Usually if he does, he sends me a pic of it. He couldn't keep a Charvel a secret for very long. He'd be sending me pics. Exactly. Once you realize the work of a snowblower, you just want to get a plow. I just want to sit in a warm cab and just push it down. Back down the driveway, drop that blade, and just push it across the street. Steve, he showed the Kramer Beretta, and I bought one on your best instrument. I'm missing a made great playing guitar. Do the striker now before I say goodbye, please. Yeah, I know. I should get a striker here because I think this is that a little bit more money. What's the pricing on the striker? Because the Beretta is $199. I gotta think the striker's a little more because it's 3 pickups. I gotta think it's more like what, $250, $350. Let me take a look here. What is What are they talking about on the old Kramer? On the Strikey Strikers. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Striker collection shop now. They give, in the threes. $3.99, $3.49, $3.79, depending on the options. Yeah. I knew it would be more because it's got a locking trim. Beretta doesn't. And it's got 3 pickups, and the Beretta only has 1. And you would, common sense is more parts cost more money. Yeah. Right there. Yep, that's the sort of the flame one. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Buddy has entered the set. You want to? Yeah. Buddy? Bud, do you have anything? Buddy, do you have anything to say? What else? Right. Well, there you have it. He's not long for speeches, but damn it, every word was correct. Right? No, you'd never go out. He's like, I'm not going out there. That's where the animals live. He's like, oh no. Outside with the animals? I don't think so. No, Buddy is posh Spice. It's Sporty Spice is the one that keeps making it out. Then we got Scary Spice. And of course Baby Spice. But Buddy's posh. Right, Buddy? Buddy's having a good old time sniffing. I don't think he's quite winter furring yet. October. Usually by Halloween they're full on winter fur. He's not quite there yet. I think they're starting to bulk up a little bit. Right, Bud? Right? Exactly. Yep. Oh, eat the bud. And the Buddy is the bud. And he's got the bud butt. And he is the buddy butt. Because he's got the butt. And we chopper. We choppy. He's a ninja. Chops. Yeah. Ooh. Buddy is a buddy cat. Yeah, he does. He matches the SG. In fact, from now on, the Gibson's going to call them, the color will be called Buddy. We have this in Antique Cherry or Buddy. Buddy Black. Right, Bud Man? Right, my bud? Who's my buddy? Buddy is my buddy. Like the single coil. Right, Bud? Bud likes to chew the leather straps. He goes through, he sees the straps, he goes through until he finds a leather one, and then he just likes to gnaw it. Only the leather. The cats don't wake me up at 4 a.m., but they wake my wife up. Meow. I stand over. Meow. 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 She's like, all right, I'm getting up. I'm getting up. Meow. He is the best little bud. I don't know what it was, but they all took a sudden interest in the Frankie, and they were all like rubbing their face like on the edge of the guitar, and like almost knocking it off the stand. I'm like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? But all of them were like, what? And they like would like run to the Frankie. And there was like some spot where they were smelling either a dog or something. And I don't know, man. All the cats were like freaked out by the Frankie all of a sudden. It was like bizarro. I never questioned Buddy about Clammy. Where were you the night Clammy disappeared? Play a Ibanez PGM 300. Krell Bar loaned me an Ibanez PGM, but I forget which one it was. It was enormous. That guitar is actually really big. You know, you can tell it's for a dude who's over 6 feet tall because, damn, that is a big guitar. Yeah, same with the Buckethead LP, right? Like these big guys, they want big guitars. The Gristle Master Reverend is a like You know, like a 9/8 spotty. Right, slightly oversized. Do-do-do-do. It is one louder. I do. Actually, it's here. It's here because you're playing the other good. I'm so used to playing that G. That's here. It actually is. It's A flat. Yeah. Gotta play it here. Then you gotta go. You can't get the low. That's where it all falls apart, because you don't have the low power chords that you can hit. Yeah, those Buckethead LPs are very expensive now. They didn't make a ton of them, I don't think. They were fairly expensive guitar to begin with. I know, 5-minute warning. Damn. Oh, that's right. Ben Coombs will be live tomorrow with Sean Pierce Johnson at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're still in daylight time for now. I'm going to sell the HVAC fan to Steve Vai for the Hydra. If the price is right. Come at me, Steve. With cash. It is relict. Naturally relict. Yeah, I saw Buckethead a couple of times recently. Yeah, I saw him, I guess it would have been spring of 2018 and spring of 2019. Saw him both years. And he sounded great. Oh yeah, you having tropical storms. We're going to get really hot and humid for at least one day. It's going to cool off, but it's going to stay humid for about 3 or 4 days, and then we're finally going to get back to crispy fall weather by like Thursday, Friday. But it's going to be a couple of days of crappy crap. Buddy has taken up residence right there. See the buddy butt. The old bud butt. Trying to put us down just because we get around. Muggy but cold. At least you can get by with a dehumidifier. When it's muggy and hot, you got to run the air conditioner. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah, Alaska had a huge storm. See, maybe I'll do a dedicated video this week on how to play that Aussie song. Nobody else does the drop tuning. I checked out a few people who had, videos how to play it, and nobody's got the drop tuning. So that could be enough to give it the edge to make it work. Because when everybody has a bunch of videos out, it doesn't. What's the point? But yeah, good. Thanks, Tony. You having bad storms there? Yeah. I think we're going to get rain like Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday sort of a transition day, and then Thursday's back to the crispy fall air again. Power issues, damn. I hate that. Especially during the rain, because I have the friggin' sump pump, That'll get you freaked out. Do you have to get permission to do a tutorial on someone else's song? You don't. But you shouldn't play the song in the background. That'll instantly get you demonetized or a copyright strike. You can't play the tune, like the actual tune. Just show people the chords, and that you'll be fine. That's enough. I'll need a girl for the thumbnail. What does this chick have to do with Ozzy? And then you find out in the video, nothing. All right, dudes. I'm going to call it a night. Coming up on 9 p.m. here. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Super extra thanks for anyone who contributed. Had a lot of people tonight, and I really appreciate that. It's always appreciated, especially when the AC fan dies. And, of course, Brofist to my moderators. Hashtag Brofist, hashtag Mod Squad. And so you guys we'll do it all again in a week. And maybe I'll get some. Now that my video rig is running, I can edit videos again. I literally didn't get it going until 2 days ago. Because it's been a tough week. But we got it. It's going. It's working. So, there you have it. All right, dudes. Thanks so much for hanging out. No, you rock. I will see you guys in a week. And until then, rock on.